Good evening. I say I really appreciate the guest talk given to me tonight, and I want to appreciate the moderator. I also appreciate those who have gone ahead of me to speak, Dr. Akrili and Dr. Awujola. They have made valid points, and I greatly appreciate that. I want to speak on bivocational ministry, how it could resolve the issue of unengagement of pastors in our midst. Uh, Bivocational ministry simply is about a particular person who is engaged in two vocations. He is a pastor, secular worker. Only how you can now way out to resolving the problem of unengagement of pastors in our midst. I would like to state this also is not a new concept per se. We have some people amidst us that are already practicing bivocational ministry, only it's not an official practice. This bivocational ministry is a bit new to us in our denomination. There are several denominational feats in pastoring as a bivocational minister. Tonight, I want to share briefly on how this kind of ministry can help us in our concept, in our midst, and how to go about resolving this issue. I would like us to look at the we need to evaluate many of our leaders are overrating our churches in our different locations. And it will be appropriate for us to do a kind of assessment of the level of churches we have. We have few churches that are up and doing and are financially buoyant to take care of several things. And we have several of our churches that are weak and are struggling to exist. In fact, if you need to do some kind of findings, you'll be shocked and surprised how these churches are paying the pastors that they have. Now, what I'm saying is that first and foremost, before this kind of bivocational ministry could be effective and solve problems amidst us, we must evaluate all the churches we have in our convention. What are they performing? What is their level of performance? How viable are they in meeting the needs, either spiritual needs or physical needs of members and their leaders? This is very important. Again, I would like us to also look at creating atmosphere for this bivocational ministry. It's not a thing that we'll be practicing, it's new, and a change. We want to have a change. It's going to have a lot of, change itself is very difficult. So there's a need for us to create atmosphere of enlightenment. What are we talking about? What is bivocational ministry? How is it going to be practiced? What are things that are expected? What are the inherent benefits in it? I think there's a need for great enlightenment from the convention level to the conference, association, and even local churches, so that those who are about to go to the ministry, we know that there's an existence of a kind of ministry called bivocational ministry. I want us also to note that when there's a proper enlightenment, those who are going to seminary, we know that it's not everybody that is called to be a full-time pastor, because the concept we have carried along all the while is that the moment you have a call, you abandon everything and you go for it. In as much as it is a valid one, it is not the only method of call. We can see in the Bible the tent making ministry. You can also see that Priscilla and Aquila, they were tent makers. They were working and they were doing ministry. And you see Paul boasting that I do not take any this kind of ministry is a new thing. It has been from time immemorial. It's from the time of the New Testament. So there's need to emphasize this and their Christians as a denomination, so that the people in the local church, we know that if you say you are going for a ministry, you are having a call, and you are still working, they will not see you as an serious person who has not decided what to do. Because several people believe that they say, I have a call, then you have to go for it, no other thing to do again. So when there's this enlightenment, the church at the grassroots, the person that is called, they will have this understanding. In fact, they will have understanding that as I'm going, it's not compulsory that when I finish my call, I have to go to a particular church, because things have changed. You know, our system is just patterned after Nigeria in such a way that, because, you know, in those days, we have heard stories of people that have finished on higher institutions, and people are coming to carry them to go and start work. But what do we have today? We have several graduates that we are turning out day in, day out. We don't have provision for where they are going to serve. So and you see the issue of teaching, entrepreneurship, even at higher institution level, is ongoing to prepare the student that when you are through, in case you don't have a place of call, you can learn one trade or the other and continue from there. So if we have a kind of concept that should be a paradigm shift from the traditional concept we are used to, so another one we can buy, that you may not be a full bivocational pastor. And as you are going with the profession, the vocation that you have had before you had. Even seminary now, I've asked several times from our present seminary president, Professor Inola, he will say, what you have learned before, it's not for fun. There's a reason why you have gone through that. It can still be useful in your ministry. So all the skill, all that you have had a long time, it can be what you use to equip yourself to carry out ministry. In essence, if you are working in the church as an evangelism secretary or as a Sunday school superintendent, you may have a call. God is calling people. He keeps on calling. Tomorrow we call people that has not come. So God still calls people up to now. But the way he's calling is what we have to look at. What is he saying at this hour? Levels of our operations from local the convention, and we should promote it so that we will have the weight to go out to plant churches. You also identify with me that we do not more church planting nowadays. We went to one conference one time, and we were talking about church planting, and they said, we are not interested in church planting. We want to talk about church maintenance and development, because several churches that are planted are not viable. So we need to address this issue, look at the blessings, benefits of bivocational ministry. And when we do this, it will help us to solve the problem of unengaged Baptist pastors. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. My pastor, God bless you. I'm very grateful for encouraging us and opening our eyes to things we need to see as young pastors, as emerging leaders, and as denominational leaders, to what we need to do in response to the reality of our time. We like Dr. Awujola mentioned, or somebody mentioned, we need to look at our traditional method and see what exactly is fit for our time, while we are not working against what we stand for as a denomination. But we need to keep on looking at things, reviewing our system, our policies, so that we can always meet up with the realities of our time. Thank you once again, sir.